What are the highest virtues? From Merriam-Webster's dictionary, virtues means conformity to the standard of right. In the Bible, virtues are not just what is right or wrong, or conforming to society around us. It is conforming to the way that God has laid before us in His Word. We will look at 5 texts and what their cultural virtues are, and compare them to God's holy virtues He has shown us in Galatians 5:22-23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. In the allegory of the cave, we can see 2 main high virtues, humility and truth. Truth, Plato states, wouldn't he or she prefer to put up with absolutely anything else rather than associate with those opinions that hold the cave to be that kind of human being? This describes the person wanting to know the truth after a small glimpse. It states it's greater than anything, even human safety and comfort. God does refer to himself as the truth. In 1 Corinthians 3:6, love does not delight in evil but rejoices in truth. Humility. From the beginning, people like this have never managed to see anything besides the shadows that are continually projected on the wall opposite of them by the glow of the fire. This describes human depravity and our own weakness. Plato describes this as an individual's inability to see beyond oneself. 1 Corinthians 13:4, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. This is recognition of human inadequacy, which shows that we should not find pride in our own doing and that we need God to grow. In Dante's Inferno, we can see wisdom and sacrifice as the highest virtues. Wisdom. The first level of hell is dedicated to the greatest leaders and philosophers, known for wisdom and might. While this itself does not show wisdom, the fact that his system of punishment is based off his own prejudices show that the highest virtues are shown in the higher levels of their inferno, while less important virtues are shown lower down. Thus, the first level shows the most important virtue, shown to be the wise. There I beheld both Socrates and Plato, Democritus, Diogenes, Empocles, and Zeno. Contrary to the Inferno, Jeremiah 9:23-24 says, "Thus says the Lord, let not the wise man boast in his wisdom, let not the mighty man boast in his might, let not the rich man boast in his riches, and let him who boast in this, that he understands and knows me, that I am the Lord, who practices steadfast love, justice, and righteousness in the earth. For these things I delight, declares the Lord." While Dante glorifies the earthly wisdom of elders and leaders, God shows that his knowledge is irrelevant and that we should instead focus on being wise in him. Sacrifice. As we continue down the levels of the Inferno, we have seen the 3rd and 4th circle of the Inferno. These people are condemned for the damning of sin and gluttony. As you can see, I anguish in the rain, Canto 6. The 3rd and 4th circles are punished for gluttony and greed. The opposite would be giving and sacrifice. So these would make those the highest virtues in the Inferno. And walk in the way of love, just as Christ loved us and gave himself up as a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God, Ephesians 5:2. Christ paved the way for sacrificial giving. We see similar virtues in sacrificing for others. Next, we will look at Gilgamesh. The first virtue is love. Unlike the common day associations with romantic love, the Epic of Gilgamesh focuses more on manly love. We will see this when Gilgamesh is told, "The axe you saw is the man whom you love and embrace as a wife." This is similar to the idea of brotherly love that we see in the Bible. "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another, even as I have loved you, that you may love one another. By this all men will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." John 13:34-35. The next virtue is fame. While talking to Enkidu about his fears of fighting a powerful opponent, Gilgamesh states, "Shall I fall? I will have established my fame. It is I who established my fame for eternity." That regardless of his life or victory, he is more focused on the supposed eternal worth of fame. God commands us to act out of humility and not just look at the title of the world. The Bible states in Ephesians 4:2, be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. In the Odyssey, we can see Xenia. When Odysseus and his crew came to the Cyclops' cave, he states that we're at our knees in hope of a warm welcome, even a guest gift. That sort of host to give strangers, that's the custom. Xenia is not seen as an additional pleasure, but a mandatory part of social culture. In 1 Peter 4:8-9, above all, love another deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling. We are called to be hospitable to one another, but not to do it pridefully or with grumbling. When Odysseus asked for hospitality, he demanded it instead of being courteous. We can see this stated in Titus 1:8 too. Rather, he must be hospitable, one who loves what is good, who is self-controlled, upright, and holy in discipline. Sophia. Penelope tricks her pursuing suitors by repeatedly weaving and unraveling a basket she needs to make. This is when she is praised for her cleverness, as she is described by one of her suitors, saying she was the matchless queen of cunning. While man praises those who can trick and deceive, God says, let what you say be simply yes or no. Anything more than that comes from evil. Matthew 5:37. God calls us to answer simply and honestly, not act out of wit or cunning, but out of love. Finally, in Job, we see truth. In Job 42:7, God states, I am angry with you and your two friends, for you have not spoken truth about me, as my servant Job has. He makes it clear that truth is important, and he praises Job for his honesty. While honesty is not directly described as a fruit of the Spirit, it is consistent with keeping the other fruits of the Spirit, such as self-control, faithfulness, and kindness. This is consistent with the rest of the Bible, again shown in Matthew 5:37. Let what you say be simply yes or no. Anything more than this comes from evil. To live honestly and simply. Integrity. In Job 1:8, God brags about Job, saying that no one else on earth is like him, a man of perfect integrity. He decides to use the standard of integrity to describe the perfect actions of Job. Once again, in the Galatians 5:22-23, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Self-control is described as one of the fruits of the spirits, and integrity as a result of controlling oneself. In conclusion, while others may struggle with focusing on the virtues of the world, we as Christians can continue to focus on growing in the fruits of the Spirit we see throughout the whole Bible. We can focus on spreading the joyful news of the gospel and show the love that God showed us by sharing the fruits of the Spirit.